Hey guys, it's Rebecca. So today I'm going to be filming a video basically just about all of the books that I want to reread, basically ASAP, hopefully in 2021, but I won't make any promises like that because I just know what I'm like with reading. I think I've picked 5 books, but some of those are series or books from series, so I'm just going to count if they're like books from series, I'm just going to count them as 1, but I think I have 5. Instead of rambling at the beginning, I'm just going to get right into talking about the books that I really can't wait to reread. So the first book is one that I actually should reread pretty soon because I'm currently doing a module on Charles Dickens, and that is Great Expectations. I really need a better edition of this book because it's just one of the cheap Wordsworth editions, but I did read it out of this for the first time and I just love this book so much. It is absolutely incredible. I really would love to do an essay on this. I would definitely need to reread it if that's the case. I wouldn't reread it if it was just for like seminars and if I didn't think I was going to actually write on it, because I can remember most of what happened and I would be able to do a seminar on it. But I think it's worth rereading and choosing it possibly as one of my texts. If you don't know, this book is basically about this young boy who is born into a pretty poor family, and I'm pretty sure, as far as I can remember, his parents die, and so his aunt, her husband, then takes care of him. One day he comes into a lot of money. He basically inherits a fortune and he doesn't know where from. He has some ideas, but he's not entirely sure. So basically he moves to London and we follow his journey as he basically grows into a man. We meet Pip whenever he's quite a young boy, and then we follow him as he grows into a man, and we see what this money actually does to him as a person, what it does to his family, what it does to his character, what it does to who he makes friends with, who he trusts, what he does as a living, his attitudes to life, and just how money influences Pip and even his love life so much. It is one of the most amazing books I have ever read. I think that the most amazing thing about this is the didactic kind of elements that teach us that the people who have always been good to you and have taken care of you and have been good to you since the very beginning, you should always acknowledge that, never take people for granted, and give that love back and appreciate people who really actually have always loved you and have always taken care of you, instead of choosing people to be in your life for reasons that aren't sincere. It's just the way it's done is just absolutely unbelievable. If you haven't read this one, I really recommend starting with Dickens. Here, as far as I know, out of all of the Dickens that I've read, I would definitely recommend starting here, not only because it's short but also because I think it's so relatable and not actually that difficult of a Dickens, really due to not only the writing style but largely the length and actually just how good it is. I think once you start to read other Dickens novels, it almost starts to feel like nothing can compare, but it's still a great place to start because it's just so amazing. I mean, I love Dickens with all of my heart, but this is a really great place to start because I find myself thinking about this novel so frequently, and I the last time I read it was years ago. Not only do I want to reread this to re-experience this and to maybe pick up on some elements that I've missed before, but I also would love to write on it as an essay, and obviously to be able to do that I need to refresh my memory and to pick this apart and come up with some kind of an argument that I would love to write on in this novel. As you can tell, I probably look really excited because this novel really excites me, and I would love to talk about this with anybody who has enjoyed it because it's just such a good novel. And if you're thinking about starting to read Dickens or classics, please pick this one up. I can almost guarantee that you will love this book. So another series, end of series, that I really want to read is Siege and Storm and Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo. These are the last 2 books in the Grit trilogy. I read Shadow and Bone. I actually buddy read it with Elise from The Petite Punk. I'll link her channel down below. I buddy read the first one, or reread the first one with her in January. I didn't get around to this one in February, so I would love to get around to these 2 ASAP really before the show comes out, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Hopefully this one this month, and then this one at the start of next month. I just love these books so much and they're so due a reread. If you are trying to get into fantasy, these are a great gateway series or trilogy, and they're so much fun. They're not to be taken that seriously, but I absolutely love these books, and I remember really loving this book because of a certain character that we're introduced to. So I absolutely can't wait to get around to these. I can't wait to see what I would think, and just rereading them and re-enjoying them. I can't wait to see what I'm going to think of these two, and I'm just so excited. So another book I have been mentioning that I want to reread quite a lot actually recently on my channel, but it definitely deserves a mention here, and that is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. This is the absolutely stunning edition, leather-bound edition that my boyfriend got me for Christmas. He knew that I love Pride and Prejudice and was talking about how I didn't have a nice edition of it, or a nice, at least individual edition of it, because I do have quite a few Jane Austen collections. This is the ultimate hate to love romance. If you enjoy that trope, then you need to read this, because I would argue it's the original, most perfect, amazing hate to love romance that is out there. I would definitely pick this one up. I mean, that's the best way for me to describe that. This book, it is funny, it has the ideal hate to love romance, it has unbelievable character driven moments and character development overall. It is written absolutely beautifully, but not to the point where it is hard to understand necessarily. It is just such an enjoyable novel. The characters come to life as soon as you start reading the book, and you will see what I mean if you give it a go. There's a reason why this book is starting to blow up on BookTube, or has been actually for the last few months. It's because it's such an accessible and beautifully written classic, and I would 100% recommend going and trying this one out. This is turning into a recommendations video, but really this is another one that I really want to reread ASAP. So the next two books slash series that I want to mention I don't actually have with me. They're actually at my house and home because I'm currently in my student house. So the first book is a last one in a trilogy, and that is Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins. I've been reading the Hunger Games trilogy to my younger brother, but I'm only able to do that whenever I go home. I'm actually planning on getting him to read me the series, because I read them to him, but I'm thinking about getting him to read the rest of Catching Fire to me, since I actually haven't managed to get around finishing that one with him. I might get him to read that to me over FaceTime, and I'll colour in and he can get the experience of reading, and that would be really fun, I think, because I so rarely get to go home. But since I'm in the middle of Catching Fire, I thought I'd mention Mockingjay in this video. I really would like to see what I think of Mockingjay now, because I absolutely hated it whenever I read it. I didn't hate it, it just really disappointed me. I was just pretend that one kind of doesn't exist a bit. I mean, obviously it's not on the same terrible vibes as Allegiant. Like, Mockingjay is elite in comparison to Allegiant, and obviously they're comparable due to you know why they're comparable. I really want to see what I would think of Mockingjay now, because I've heard a lot of people saying that they actually really enjoyed Mockingjay on like a reread years later, so I'm really interested in seeing my thoughts on that. I can't wait to continue reading them with my brother when I'm able to. As I said, I think I'm gonna go with that FaceTime plan if he's free at times. I absolutely can't wait to reread that one. I'm just really excited because I absolutely love the Hunger Games. So the next books that I really want to reread is actually a duology, and that is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. The main reason why I want to reread these is because the Six of Crows characters are being featured in the new Shadow and Bone Netflix series, so I want to reread them, obviously. They're one of my favourite series of all time, so that's duology. I love Leigh Bardugo and I love the Grishaverse. I don't talk about it enough on my channel now since I came back, but whenever I first made my channel, like, that's what everybody kind of knew me for, was just how much I loved Six of Crows. Or everybody, like, who subscribed to me, not everybody in general, like, but nobody knows who I am, but like, yeah, all my subscribers just knew me as like the person who just shoved Six of Crows down everybody's throats, because that was around when it kind of was really popular. But yeah, I absolutely love that duology, and I just really want to re-experience this. It's just such a fun world. I just really want to go back into it. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching, and if you did, please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell down below so that you can be notified when I upload. It really supports my channel and really helps me out with the algorithm. If you did enjoy this video, then please leave a comment down below. Tell me if you've read any of these books, if you want to read any of these books, or just any thoughts that you have on this video, really. As I said, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.